Welcome to the end of our highly questionable week. This guy over here in this shirt, very Christmas. That's my father. He's a cartoon. This is Izzy Gutierrez. What do you like on the show today, Izzy?
Cancel football for the rest of the year. I've seen enough. I'm good. Satisfied.
Dale, papi. More, please.
Did Patrick Mahomes help her his case for MVP last night?
All right, Mahomes is not pronounced that way. That's the Spanish word for turds. I don't know why he keeps doing that. I wish that he would stop at any point. When I was young, there was this game. It was a long time ago. This vibrating football game. You turned on the electricity and all the pieces just moved down the field and they all ended up in the end zone. That's what last night was. 22 pieces all over the place, all of them ending up in the end zone. Think about this because you're never going to hear it again. The Kansas City Chiefs had 5 turnovers last night and scored 50 points. How?
Tell me more about this electronic football game, Dad.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I literally have never played it in my life. But here's the thing about Patrick Mahomes. I started this game. You saw Jared Goff starting off well, and then Patrick Mahomes started throwing these short passes. And I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a second. Are we all tricked by Patrick Mahomes because of all the talent around him? But no, if you look at him continue to play, yes, that is the way you treat a young quarterback. You give him options. You let him take advantage of his talent so he doesn't have to try to do too much. But when you ask Patrick Mahomes to do more, he's going to go on the run. He's going to throw accurately. He's going to do all of these things. And you realize, oh no, he is elevating the talent around him. He can score 50 plus points when his team turns the ball over a ton. He's the reason that team is as good as it is. So MVP chances? No, he didn't hurt them at all. He helped them.
That's a disaster case for Patrick Mahomes. The idea that he was personally responsible for 5 turnovers, as we see guys like Breeze and Goff, they never throw interceptions. So 5 turnovers in a game is a recklessness that still is something to behold when it takes the Patriots 43 points to beat them, and these guys got to go to 54.
And people might want to look at statistics and say, well, when he throws the ball with 3 or fewer seconds, he's got 80% completion percentage, got a bunch of touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. And when he has more time, he's under 50% and has thrown 8 of his 10 interceptions. But isn't the way that's supposed to happen? When you have a lot of time to think, it's because people are covered. It's because you have to find a way to get the football to somebody and you're going to make some mistakes.
Well, he can be the MVP. He has 2 losses. I know another quarterback who hasn't lost at all during the regular season. His name is Matt Barkley.
That joke didn't quite land the way that he thought it would.
Not quite.
The last night's game convinced you that the Rams are better than the Chiefs?
That is a funny question. These are imperfect measurement systems that we have. It's pretty random, 1-game samples, depending on where you play. It's pretty random when one bounce can determine the outcome. I think we can all safely say that if the Rams and the Chiefs and the Saints are playing, we want to watch those teams play against each other. And also, hey, by the way, the Patriots might have a chance against them, but they're not playing football the way those 3 teams are.
One of the reasons I'm almost convinced that the Rams are better than the Chiefs because I'd like to see this game played in KC just once. But if you look at the running game of the Rams, Todd Gurley had 55 yards on 12 carries. They weren't really going to Todd Gurley, who could win MVP this season. Why? Because that Chiefs secondary was questionable at best, and you saw that that's what Jared Goff wanted to do. And if you look at the Rams defense and you look at 105 points scored or what have you, the 3rd highest scoring game in the history of football, the Rams defense actually made plays. Aaron Donald made plays. That secondary, the linebackers made plays. So if you look at the complete team, yes, I'm going to go ahead and say the Rams are better than the Chiefs right now. But if you played this game on a neutral site 10 times, it might be 5-5.
I will say that what I found fascinating about the scheming, and that game was the future, young people all over the place in the scheming, is that the Rams decided we're going to take our MVP candidate and use him largely as a decoy to open up this passing game and attack that secondary. That kind of versatility is super unique nowadays.
Man, that was a hell of a game. That was a great game. The last time I saw a loser scoring 51 points was LeBron.
Oh, on Sunday.
Right.
He scored 51 points.
But he won the game.
He won the game, and he's not a loser. But
3 rings, 4 MVPs.
joke stands.
GOAT.
last night's game showed that the less physical new NFL is more fun to watch.
Man, if we're going to use last night as an example, yes, we'd all like that intravenously. It was like watching the witching hour on the Red Zone channel pumped into the same game because those are vibrating pieces that they have on the field. But when it's being asked about a less physical NFL, the NFL has happened and stumbled upon this great scenario where, in searching for safety, they've blown open the game and allowed offenses to score. They were trying to serve one solution to a problem, and they came up with the solution that saves the sport in a way that gets last night the best ratings this network has had for Monday Night Football in 4 years.
You're going to keep going with that vibrating reference and the electric football that nobody knows about. Here, look, I love watching this the same way I love watching the Golden State Warriors play basketball. Not because the other team can't defend them, it's just because they are that talented. So when you look at the rest of the league, the rules are the same for everybody else, but we're not getting 54-51 everywhere else. These teams, these quarterbacks, these coaches have devised ways to take advantage of all the football rules, and I venture to say that last year, if these two teams, the way they're currently constructed, were to play with the rules from last year, we'd still see a 50-50 game between these two teams. So enjoy it while you can, because it's not happening everywhere in the league.
Should the Wizards blow it up?
It is hard not to look at this situation and say you need something absolutely different from what it is that you have there. It's not bad enough that the Wizards are the most underachieving team in the league. It's not bad enough that soon 85% of their salary cap is going to be tied up in 3 players who aren't good enough. Now it also appears that none of them get along, and John Wall is being fined for yelling curses at his coaches because they all hate each other to boot. Izzy, I don't know what you do with this situation. I do know that this situation can't end in winning this way. They have to do something different.
This is one of those situations where you saw it coming and you're wondering why the GM didn't see it coming or somebody up above didn't see this coming. It didn't seem like John Wall, Bradley Beal, and company have got along for years. There have been questions about it the entire time. There have been questions about why they seem to underachieve. And you could go the way I go and say, hey, maybe the talent isn't quite what Ernie Grunfeld and those guys think in Washington. Or you could say, no, it's been like that for a long time. Not only have they not gotten along, but there's dysfunction on the court. They're not playing to their potential. When they do for short spurts, as they did a couple years ago in the playoffs, they look really good, and John Wall at the time looked like he could work his way to MVP status. But now, as Bradley Beal said reportedly the other day in practice, I've been dealing with this bleep for 7 years. It's not going to get better just by keeping it together. You've got to do something to change it, and so far, hiring Scott Brooks is not enough to change that.
You know, this is the only question we ever ask about the Wizards.
It's true. It's been like 10 years at ESPN here where every year the question is, should they blow it up?
You would think Ernie Grunfeld would take the hint.
Have you given up on Marker Fox living up to his draft pick?
Okay, Fultz is the way the name is pronounced. He's not making it any better by pronouncing it again. Please stop that. Your accent is troublesome on this one word. This is a short-circuiting unlike any we've ever seen in basketball. And now David Aldridge is telling us that on the advice of his attorney and through his attorney, he is going to see a shoulder specialist. You've got to hope, if you're the Philadelphia 76ers, that this is about the shoulder and not about the mind. Because if it's about the shoulder, then you can salvage it. But if it's about the mind, this is going to be like something we've never seen in this sport.
I'm pretty sure he was just confusing him with De'Aaron Fox. But I will say this, when you look at Markelle Fultz, when you listen to the quotes being said about Markelle Fultz by his own coach, by his own teammates, nobody's bringing up injury. Nobody's bringing up anything physical. They're all hinting at mental things. They're all saying, well, it's difficult to balance what you need to do to help a young player in this situation and help our team win. It's not going to help when Markelle Fultz is clearly got the starting position for the season based on pity and hope, and that maybe he will work his way out of this. Now that he is no longer in the starting lineup, when TJ McConnell is out there doing this, and that means more to them than what Markelle Fultz is doing, then you know if it is mental, he's going to be in his head even deeper. This signals to me somebody saying, hey, I want people to stop discussing my mental issues and start talking about the shoulder again because it's a little easier to deal with.
He hired a lawyer, eh?
Yes.
I guess that's the only way he's going to see the court.
Oh, boom.
Even he knew that one was good.
Oh.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Great atmosphere created by the kids, it's got to be said, who obviously come here.
Oh, there you go.
There's like 20 people that don't know about the atmosphere.
Time to play the game that usually has to lay naked on a cold tile floor in the fetal position after eating too much at Thanksgiving. Do you question?
It's a lot of information. You give us topics and events, and we question them.
All of it true.
Do you question if we should praise Jordan's goalkeeper or blame India's goalkeeper?
Oh, the eternal conundrum, to praise or to blame in the sports television media content business. Let's see here. Let's check in with Jordan. Jordan's in orange.
Great atmosphere created by the kids, it's got to be said, who obviously come here.
Oh,
to
there you go.
There's like 20 people that don't know about the atmosphere.
Oh,
would you look at that?
no. That is the
And the
keeper's
ball's not
fault,
really
Izzy.
Listen, I'm not going to go hard here on India's goalkeeper, okay? Because here's something you don't know, Dan. He stopped a penalty kick in this game, okay? He had, other than that moment right there, an amazing match. And I, unlike Pierce Morgan, will not go in hard on India so I get killed by a bunch of people on Twitter. Not going to do it. It's a heavily populated country.
Wow, man. Izzy really had his research on this.
Surprise!
That goalkeeper is from India, eh?
That's right.
Well, I've seen worse things happening to another player from India.
What? He's got this
That's
video
right.
on call? Oh!
Ah, there you have it. Look at that. He's also from India. Bang.
I think that's gratuitous. My father's shouting he's also from India to tie it neatly into the previous clip does not make it any less gratuitous that we just wanted to show you that video of some dude sliding unpleasantly into a pole.
Do you question if this was a good play?
Oh, we go out to high school volleyball. Denver's in white here. Is this a good play by Denver in white?
But this organization.
Yes, excellent play. Yes, let's celebrate with her broken face.
I will not give this young lady a hard time. People don't really know this. Volleyball's kind of my favorite sport. That right there is both a dig and a kill. In the stat sheet, that woman is a superstar.
All right.
Wow. She would make a great goalie.
Who would make a great goalie?
It's like they set this up for the entire
Wait a
show.
minute. This seems gratuitous. Look out, Legler!
Look out, little Legler.
Bang! All right.
Oh, I've never actually heard the crying before. Turn the volume up on that.
Okay, no, please turn the crying down so I'll feel less bad about it. 100 times we play it.
You know, we have been playing that video for so long. Do you know how that kid looks now?
Yeah, he's there he is.
There we go. There we go.
No, that's right. His life went awry, and he got incredibly swollen hands, and for some reason he was playing with a mousetrap because of the scars from his childhood. What our show did to him.
Do you question this pitch invader's persistence?
Okay, we love streakers around here. I dare you to find another program here in the history of ESPN that covers streakers better than we do. So go out to the UK here and let's see what we've got. A woman running on.
Oh, trying to run.
Okay.
Did not perfect the running part or the looking part.
Oh.
She does not know how to run or to use her eyes, apparently.
Oh my God. Slow it down on the water blast to the face, please.
Strongest sprinkler I have ever seen. Off her feet. It took her off of her feet. Wow.
Well, as David Stern knows, you know, water can be very dangerous.
Oh, man.
Yeah?
Really?
That's
This
right.
man did so many good things for the
This is
NBA.
gratuitous again. Our producers just want to show you a belching, hacking former commissioner of the NBA.
It wasn't even that bad. I've done that 10 times worse.
Well, it happens to everyone.
What happens to everyone? Oh, come on, man. Come on. Come
I've
on.
been taping you.
They're always taping me. This is not the most flattering portrait of my career. There might be some snot involved there.
Where did you learn to drink
Yeah,
water?
there it is. Hacking, coughing,
who's that
wheezing.
coming in to save you? Who was
somebody
that?
was coming in to rescue me
Fine, thank you.
from my own vomit. All right, great. Great video.
You got to be better than the Dasani.
Time to play the game that thinks pie is overrated and not nearly as good as cake. See? Oh, no.
Wow, not nearly as good. You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued.
And pie is so much harder to make.
Wednesday on ESPN, LeBron's return to Cleveland, Lakers at Cavaliers.
Oh, Poppy, look, he is now rooting for the Cavs against LeBron. My father got his heart broken. The Miami Heat were crushed by LeBron the other day late in the game. He hasn't gotten to 50 yet. Lance Stevenson egged on LeBron to take one more shot in an unwritten rule situation that sometimes will make people mad, but nobody seemed too bothered by that. He just scored 51. My father, if you look there, you'll see him weeping softly in one of the corners. Izzy, are you intrigued?
Yes. One thing that we forgot to mention is that I will be there doing sideline reporting for that game. And I was there back in 2010 when LeBron went as a member of the Miami Heat. These two games are going to be entirely different. It's going to be a little bit disappointing to see this crowd reaction.
I believe, was he boasting about a sad Cleveland Christmas, or is this game in Los Angeles? Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Are you kidding me? The Cavs, they have been waiting for this opportunity all season long. They want to get even with LeBron. You got Jerry R. Smith, you got Kevin Love, you got Tristan Thompson. These guys are up to the task of stopping LeBron. So it's not going to be no 50-some points game, probably about 15, 17 the most. They're going to shut down LeBron. That's going to be my prediction.
Well, Kevin Love's hurt, and J.R. Smith is openly talking about tanking. I'm pretty sure LeBron's going to get 70 tonight.
Oh, really?
Or Wednesday
Oh,
night.
wow, that was a hurt whimper that just came out of the old man's body, huh?
Thursday on CBS, Fox, and NBC, Thanksgiving NFL football.
Poppy, what is the name of the Atlanta receiver? What's his name?
Julio Jones.
It's not.
That's right, Julio Jones.
It's not Jones. It's Jones. But Julio Jones made a couple of defensive plays.
But he's a receiver, Dan. How is that possible?
Let me show you, Izzy. How about that? That is Julio Jones playing defense. That's a bummer if you're going up for that and you think you got an interception. That's what lands on you. What else happened here?
And they're on the move. Second down. Right. Going for
More traditional catch.
Oh, okay.
Julio Jones went like half the season without having a touchdown, but that is his rightful place. It is where all his mail should be sent. You should send anything that you want to Love Julio Jones to the mailing address in the end zone. Izzy, are you intrigued?
Yes, very much so. Thanksgiving football all in for 5 of the 6 teams. I'm tired of watching Atlanta. They're way too frustrating regardless of how good that man is.
Such a weird team. How about you, Poppy? Are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Are you kidding me? Thanksgiving is my favorite date of the year to watch football. That's football day
All right,
for me.
let's get to some predictions then. Are you ready to make some predictions,
I'm
Poppy?
ready, I'm
Bears
ready.
versus Lions. Who you got?
I got Trubinsky and the Bears. That's the guy I got.
Trubinsky doesn't have an N in it.
Okay.
Washington versus Dallas.
Oh, I got RG3. I got Washington running wild, running wild.
RG3
That's
plays in
right.
Baltimore now.
Okay,
That's
okay. Well,
Falcons at Saints. Who do you have?
Oh, I got Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. Those are my 3 picks for football during Thanksgiving Day.
RG3, baby. Keep an eye out for him.
Nailed it.
On TV in the United Kingdom, the Grand Slam of Darts.
Oh, the world of darts. It's soaked in controversy right now. Look at this here. This is not the kind of scandal you hear about every day.
Just spoke to Wesley, and besides that, he said you were a class player and you let him alive in the first session. He said that it was smelly on the stage.
I thought
Sorry?
I thought Wesley had farted on stage. Did he?
No. Well, I think he thinks you did it.
You can put your finger up, so there'll be no smell there. I thought he had and I went, that's dirty. It was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. There was a stink. I thought it was him. And he started playing better. I went, must have needed to get some wind out.
And he thought it was you.
Oh no, hands up. Swear on my kid's life. So help me God. Nothing crossed.
But it was smelly anyway.
It was smelly. Usually if I fart on stage, I myself. And you know that because I've told you in a documentary. Ain't scared to... If I'd farted that smelled like that, I'd put my hands up and go, oh, sorry, I need to get up.
So who was it then?
Well, don't tell me. You've got enough 3 boys up there. So... No, it definitely came... It was table side. And it was eggs. Rotten eggs.
Not from you.
Not for me.
I mean, it's a game we've been playing since we were all 5 years old, right? You did it, I didn't do it, I'm lying about doing it. Now it's reach darts because sports always reflect society. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I told you earlier that volleyball was one of my favorite sports. Darts is probably my favorite game. You throw in a he who hath smelt it controversy, and now it's clearly my favorite sport.
Yes.
I love it. The strategy involved.
Way
Amazing.
to go, darts. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, the moment they make that type of claim, you got to check the underwears. You know what I mean? That's the moment you got to check. Not while you're on TV, 24 hours later. You got to do it right away, It's smelling that right there. That's right. You got to drop your pants and check the underwears. That's it.
All right, check the underwears. I love that he makes it plural.
That's what they call a strip sack in darts.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Enjoy the holidays. We are thankful for all of you who watch us every year, again and again.
Wasn't me.
Okay, great. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Boom.
There it is. Boom.
There it is. The joke that concludes our holiday work week.